Morning and welcome to the Forex Daily Update, brought to you by Pepperstone on Tuesday the 21st of November 2017. I'm Darren Sinden and you can follow me throughout the day on Twitter by using @DS_Pepperstone. Right, let's take a look at overnight changes and price moves to be aware of. Not too much to flag, but I will just pick out three key points. First of all, euro dollar regaining a bit of composure back to 117.46 just before we went live with the video after yesterday's shock German coalition talks news. Dollar index has traded back below 94, 93, 98 just before we went live. Bitcoin has retained its $8,000 handle despite giving up some ground overnight. Now, speaking of dollar index, chart of the day today, we take a closer look at that. And the question I've asked is the rally in the US dollar benchmark over? I say that because we traded well below this trend line drawn from the hammer formation here in early September. We also broke back below 94 and traded below the close of yesterday. So I think the risk is potentially to the downside here. Let's see what happens. Obviously, it is Thanksgiving week and we must give that some consideration as well. Okay, what's on the calendar? Events that may move the markets today. Quite a few bits out already. We've had the minutes from the Reserve Bank of Australia's most recent interest rate meeting, as well as the All Industry Activity Index from Japan for September. To come, we have trade balance data out of Switzerland. That's at 7 o'clock GMT. That'll be followed at 9 o'clock by the EU's Financial Stability Review. And then at 9:05, the first of the day's central bank speeches, this one from the RBA's Philip Lowe. So it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say in the light of the release of those minutes earlier. Then at 9:30, public sector borrowing requirement for October from the UK, and that's followed by inflation report hearings at 10 o'clock and the CBI Industrial Trade Survey data released at 11 o'clock GMT. And then to the US this afternoon at 13:30, the Chicago Fed National Activity Index, and then existing home sales at 1500. The ECB's Mr. Kerr is speaking at 1500 as well, but perhaps the most important speech of the day for the central bankers is Janet Yellen's speech tonight at 11 o'clock GMT. This might be her last chance to go on the record before she steps down from the Federal Reserve Board. And now, breaking news and comment that's caught my eye. Well, staying with Janet Yellen, she will step down completely from the Federal Reserve Board, it turns out, once Jerome Powell takes up his role as chair. Staying in the US, President Trump has designated North Korea as a state sponsor of terror, which could mean further sanctions on the country. It's not the first time that North Korea has had that designation, but the president has chosen to reinstate it. Speaking of world leaders, Angela Merkel's future is in genuine doubt after Sunday's coalition talks failure, and several reports in the press suggesting that's the case. Meanwhile, as we already noted, the RBA minutes were released today, and they show how the central bank is concerned about low wage growth in Australia. Right, food for thought, something to take away with you into the trading day. Well, why not think about this? We often use equity indices as benchmarks against which we can measure investment returns, but we rarely stop to consider the changes in the composition of those indices over time and the effects that this can have. And this chart here shows the change really in the composition of the S&P 500 on a sector basis between December 1979 and September 2017. Well worth having a look at and taking some time to study that. Okay, risk warning time. Please take a moment to consider the risks involved in trading foreign exchange and margin products with Pepperstone. If you have any doubts about the risks involved in trading on margin, then please do contact your Pepperstone account representative.